I'm Jessica. I'm 23 years old and a preschool teacher.
Hi, I'm David. I'm 24, former Marine. I now work in a machine shop. And we're the Biggs family. Yeah, that was your cue! See how good of a communicator she is? I tell you what, I speak all the time and it goes in one ear out the other. And now she's beating me.
We met in 1999 at a church camp. His church came from Indiana and my church came from Virginia, and the camp was in Tennessee. The point of the camp was to work on houses. We're supposed to repair stuff, but we ended up
She's playing with cats
and painting tin roofs in 100-degree weather. But through the course of that week, I somehow developed a crush on this guy.
Yeah, me.
Anyway, we lost touch over the next 6
Probably
years.
6 years.
Didn't really talk too often until he came home on leave from the Marine Corps and his grandfather had passed away.
And I happened to jump online on AOL Instant Messenger, and I saw she was on, and I put up an away message before I went to the hospital, and she sent me a message when I came back offering her condolences, and that kind of sparked up our whole relationship again, just being friends and talking more often.
So we talked through the whole summer, and then somehow I convinced him on his pre-deployment leave before he went to Iraq to come and visit me. So in those 5 days, somehow I convinced him that he also should have a crush on me.
When she opened up the door to the hotel where I was staying at, we hugged for hello. And it was kind of one of those weird, awkward moments, but we somehow managed through it. And when she got in my arms, it was kind of she felt belonged. So I told my mom later on that week, and I'm going to marry that girl.
So then he asked me to wait for him while he went to Iraq for 7 months, which I did. And when he came back down to Camp Lejeune, I was there with his mom, which, by the way, was the first time I ever met his mom.
And I wasn't even there. I was still in Maine. We had to see a movie. And
missed his call.
Yeah.
And so we were there to welcome him home. And when he got off the bus, when he got back, that was when I knew that I wanted to marry him. So then we started dating, and he went back to Indiana when he got out of the Marines, and I went back to Virginia and went to school there. So we had long distance for a year.
And Southwest learned to love us. We both built up 2 free round trips, and we used one of them on our honeymoon, but I have since earned a second one still.
And you got a new car and put, what, 20,000 miles on it in the first year?
Yeah, the first year we had it was just constantly from North Carolina to Washington, D.C. every weekend for her. So, love's crazy.
And then on Christmas Eve, you proposed to me after 7 months of dating. Long distance, kind of a quick thing, but when you know you're going to marry somebody, you do. So I moved here this past June, and we lived with the in-laws before we were married, which was an experience, but it was a good one for the most part. We got married in September, which most of my family still doesn't know about. And then we went out to Virginia in November for our big wedding, so that's the anniversary that we kind of tell people.
Yeah.
But through the distance, I think that the biggest thing we learned that makes us a good team is that when you date somebody long distance, you have to have 100% trust in them, because they could be off doing whatever, and you just kind of have to trust them that they're telling you the truth and not running around behind your back.
Yeah, it was hard for me at first. I'm a very jealous guy, and it was, becoming a good communicator was a key thing. I'm not a phone person. I hate talking on the phone, but after nightly, hour and hour on the cell phones, just racking up minutes on those too, we become huge communicators together. And I think that's where our biggest strength in marriage is. We talk about everything. We had to. We've learned that communication is key to a good relationship for us.
I think so. I think he became a better communicator in a year than most guys do in their entire life. But I think that going through those obstacles of the long distance and the deployment through Iraq has also made us a good team, because we've had to overcome all of that, and I think it's a lot to overcome, especially when you first start dating, start out long distance with him being gone. So I think that in that we can overcome any obstacle as a team, as long as I don't have to drive and he doesn't have to ride with me.
Yeah, and I lack patience driving, and unfortunately she drives 5 miles per hour in the fast lane. She's one of those girls, and she's a sore loser, so.
I think he is too. That's why I usually let him win.
No. I actually win at everything. I'm surprised she hasn't started beating me yet.
But we are good on a team. I think if we're together and we're not against each other, then we'll be determined to accomplish our goal, and we could beat anybody. And if we lose, that's another story. But
we won't lose, so.
No, I think we work well, and I think we found our best partners. I think together we could be unstoppable because we're so determined. So I think that's why you should choose us to be on the show.
Big family.
We're the big family.